Before Netflix changed how we watched movies, Blockbuster was everywhere. At its peak, it had more than 9,000 stores, employed over 80,000 people, and generated billions in revenue. On Friday nights, millions of families walked through its doors. It looked unstoppable, but behind the scenes, the cracks had already begun to appear. In 2004, the biggest movie rental company on Earth had a chance to buy a small company that called Netflix for just $50 million. Blockbuster's executives looked at the offer. It wasn't just a bad business decision. It became one of the most expensive mistakes in corporate history. One company ruled an entire industry. The other was barely noticed. But within a few years, the giant was bankrupt, and the underdog had conquered the world. How did Blockbuster lose everything? And what can every business and every entrepreneur learn from its downfall? This is the story of the mistake that changed entertainment forever. The story began in 1985, when entrepreneur David Cook opened the very first Blockbuster store in Dallas, Texas. Unlike the small, cluttered video rental shops of the time, Blockbuster was different. Its stores were bright, organized, and stocked with thousands of movies. Customers loved the experience. Families could walk through endless aisles of films, discover new releases, and leave with a perfect movie for Friday night. Renting a movie became more than a transaction, it became a weekly tradition. Blockbuster expanded at an incredible pace. New stores opened across the United States, then around the world. By the early 2000s, the company had built an empire of more than 9,000 stores, served millions of customers, employed over 80,000 people, and generated billions of dollars in annual revenue. Its blue and yellow logo became one of the most recognizable brands in entertainment. For millions of people, Friday night meant one thing: a trip to Blockbuster. From the outside, the company looked invincible, but hidden beneath its incredible success was a business model that depended on one thing never changing, and change was already on the horizon. While Blockbuster was celebrating its success, a small startup was quietly trying to reinvent movie rentals. In 1997, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph founded Netflix. Instead of asking customers to drive to a store, Netflix delivered DVD discs directly to their homes through the mail. The idea sounded strange. Waiting days for a movie seemed far less convenient than picking one up. Immediately at Blockbuster, most people believed Netflix would never threaten the industry's biggest giant. At the time, Blockbuster had thousands of stores, millions of loyal customers, and more money than Netflix could ever imagine. To its executives, Netflix wasn't a rival. It was barely worth noticing. Then, in 2000, Netflix's founders made a surprising offer. They proposed selling the entire company to Blockbuster for just $50 million. Blockbuster's executives rejected the offer. They believed Netflix had no future. Years later, that decision would be remembered as one of the greatest missed opportunities in business history. Blockbuster walked away from a $50 million deal, never imagining that the tiny company it dismissed would one day be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Rejecting Netflix wasn't the mistake that destroyed Blockbuster. It was only the beginning. For years, Blockbuster had earned hundreds of millions of dollars from late fees. Every overdue movie meant more profit, but customers hated them. What seemed like easy money was quietly damaging the company's reputation. At the same time, technology was changing. DVD by mail was becoming more popular. Internet speeds were improving, and people were beginning to expect entertainment without leaving home. Netflix saw the future. Instead of investing in more stores, it invested in convenience. No late fees, no driving, no waiting in line. Blockbuster had the resources to adapt. It had the brand, the money, and millions of loyal customers. But its leadership believed its stores would always dominate the industry. By the time Blockbuster realized the world was changing, Netflix was already miles ahead. Blockbuster wasn't defeated because it lacked money. It was defeated because it underestimated change. And soon, the consequences would become impossible to ignore. By the late 2000s, the warning signs were impossible to ignore. Customers were leaving. Store traffic was falling. The business model that had made Blockbuster a giant was collapsing. In a desperate attempt to catch up, Blockbuster finally launched its own DVD-by-mail service and later entered the streaming market. But it was too late. Netflix had already won the race. One by one, Blockbuster stores closed their doors. Employees lost their jobs. Communities watched a familiar Friday night tradition disappear. Then, in September 2010, the unimaginable happened. Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. A company that once dominated the entertainment industry had fallen under billions of dollars in debt. The giant that once laughed at Netflix was now fighting simply to survive. Today, only one Blockbuster store remains. It stands as a reminder of a company that once ruled an entire industry, but failed to see the future coming. Blockbuster didn't collapse because people stopped loving movies. It collapsed because it believed yesterday's success would guarantee tomorrow's survival. Netflix didn't win because it was bigger. It won because it adapted faster. While one company protected its past, the other built the future. In business, the greatest threat isn't always a stronger competitor. Sometimes it's the belief that you'll always stay on top. The fall of Blockbuster is more than the story of a video rental company. It's a warning to every business, every entrepreneur, and every leader. Innovate before you're forced to. Because history has shown one thing again and again. Giants don't fall overnight. They fall one decision at a time. And Blockbuster's biggest mistake was believing it could never fail. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Corporate Chronicles for more documentaries about the rise, fall, and biggest decisions behind the world's most iconic companies.